Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We've got Bitcoin breaking to all-time highs today. We had Bitcoin break all the way up to nearly 126,000. That is a new all-time high for Bitcoin today. And I don't think we're stopping there. I think Bitcoin's going to 150,000. I think XRP is going to $10. I've got some news on the ETFs and all my thoughts and predictions for the rest of this month, because I think this month could be an explosive one. But before I go any further, make sure you are subscribed. Also, please note that I am not a financial advisor. Whatever thoughts I give, they are my own thoughts. Whatever predictions I give, they are my own predictions. Please do not buy or sell based off anything I'm saying. I am not qualified to tell you what to buy or sell. That would be a very silly decision. So, welcome into the Sunday show. We do have a special event starting in about 20 minutes time. So what we're going to do is a quick live event, give you all our thoughts and opinions. Again, remember we're live every single morning. Trading morning, so always tune into our shows. Today is going to be a very quick special to give you an update on XRP, Bitcoin hitting all-time highs, and then we're going over to our special Electrum event. If you are not a member, this is your chance. Become a member in 20 minutes time. We are going to have our first Electrum event, prizes. There'll be lots of laughs. There's going to be a lot of knowledge given. There's going to be a lot of trivia. So come and join us for a night of fun with the Lucasades. It's our first one. You don't want to miss the first one. So we're coming. That's going to start in about 20 minutes time. If you're an Electrum member or higher, you will be able to see the stream. It is one for the members, but Electrum members and higher. So make sure you do become a member. Okay, so let me just refresh this, make sure we are all good, running smoothly. Just a couple technical issues before we went live, but I think we are all live and good. Yes, we are. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Become a member of Electrum if you want to be part of the event starting straight after this. But let's get into what we're here to talk about. So, Bitcoin broke to all-time highs. XRP is eyeing up $10, and the ETF approvals are coming. And in my opinion, they can be much quicker than you think. There has been amendments. Everyone keeps referring to these old deadlines, the deadlines of the 18th, the Litecoin deadline that was on Thursday this week, the Solana deadline coming up next week. They are irrelevant. Forget about them. Forget about all the deadlines we've spoken about. Forget about that long list I spent hours putting together of all the dates where different ETFs are coming out. Forget about the 18th of October. Forget about any deadline you've ever seen for a crypto ETF, the 245-day deadline. They are irrelevant. They're gone. They're a thing of the past. There is new filing standards. The 19B4 forms are that then they're no longer applicable. That's what we've been waiting 245 days. Counting down the days towards the deadline. We were 10 days away from it, but they are no longer relevant. What we're looking at now is S1 approvals, but we've got a government shutdown at the same time. So let me put it all together and give you my thoughts. So just the news itself, in case you don't know what's going on. Of course, there's a government shutdown right now. I'm sure everyone knows that's going on. That means even the SEC themselves are running on a very reduced staffing limit. So while this government shutdown's going on, we won't get an approval of an ETF. I'm very confident in that. Secondly, the 245-day deadline coming up. Don't worry about it. It doesn't mean anything. What we're looking for now is S1 approval. So let me tell you this news. So the SEC has told issuers of upcoming crypto ETFs, including Solana, XRP, Litecoin, Cardano, and Dogecoin to withdraw their 19.4B filings. The SEC have told them, take them away. We're not going to look at that. Normally, those filings triggered a long 245-day review clock that we've been tracking all the way through, which is why October was seen as decision month. But with the SEC's new generic listing standards, GLS approved, those rule-changing filings are no longer needed. Instead, exchanges can list crypto ETFs under the generic framework, just like gold or silver funds, removing the procedural delay. So in theory, in the bigger picture, this is great. Delays are less. But in practice, we were already waited 245 days. We could have waited another week. But this does mean you can expect ETFs left, right, and center any ETF you can ever imagine, they're probably going to start coming out as soon as the shutdown's over. So this means that the old October deadline does not matter anymore, and the race to market may actually speed up. From here, the only step left is for the SEC's Corporate Finance Division to clear each fund's S1 registration statement, which covers disclosures and structure. This is what you need now, S1 registration. It's very quick for these companies to do, very easy for the SEC to approve. So in theory, if the government wasn't shut down, we would be getting this ETF on Monday. As simple as that. Tomorrow, we could be getting this ETF if the government wasn't shut down. That's why I'm saying my prediction is as soon as the government shutdown's over, 1 week after that, because obviously they have to come back to work and deal with the bigger issues, 1 week after that, we get the ETF out. And not only do we get the XRP ETF, we'll get Solana, Litecoin, more Bitcoin, more Ethereum ETFs. We'll get every top altcoin you can think of ETFs landing on the SEC's table, and they'll probably all get approved. So analysts like Bloomberg's Eric Bachelornus says that this makes approvals virtually guaranteed, with odds now at 100%. So this new SEC's way of approving ETFs does not mean that I'm less bullish, and that I'm less that I think these ETFs will not get put through this year. I'm still 100% confident we will get that XRP ETF this year. Timing is the wild card. Now we can't get prepared for it. We don't know when the buy the news, when the sell the rumor is. It's changed the dynamics very much so. We can't anticipate exactly what day it's going to get approved. Before this, we knew exactly what day the XRP ETF was going to get approved, because we knew they were going to approve it, not deny it. This time round, we have absolutely no idea, set in stone, what day it's going to get approved or not. But I can give you my thoughts on that in a second. So timing is the wild card. There's no fixed 45-day or 245-day deadline anymore. But since many S1s like Solana's have already been amended several times, launches could come in weeks or even days. In short, ETFs aren't being delayed. They're now on a much faster and more predictable path to the market. To put this in perspective, Eleanor Terrett, a journalist from Fox Business who closely tracks the SEC's policy and crypto regulations, highlighted the withdrawal request and their implications. Meanwhile, Eric, senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence, added that the new framework makes approvals virtually certain, with timing potentially moving absurdly fast. So, ETF XRP from BlackRock today. There is no news about an XRP BlackRock ETF. No, there is absolutely no news on that yet. But this does mean BlackRock are not behind. That means BlackRock can file their S1 and get approved at the same time as all the other ETFs now. Just to give you an idea of what's going on, the news broke from Eleanor Terrett. We're actually going to come on to Eleanor Terrett in a second. We've got her here speaking on this matter, so we'll come to her in just a second. But the news broke with Eleanor Terrett just a few days ago. She said the SEC has asked issuers of Litecoin, XRP, Solana, ADA, and Dogecoin ETFs to withdraw their 19.4B filings following the approval of generic listing standards, which replace the need for those filings. I'm told withdrawals could start happening as soon as this week, so we are expecting them to withdraw and then file with the S1. So that 19B4s, the 245-day deadline, is a thing of the past. Someone commented this means these 95% ETF approvals that remember Eric is a Bloomberg senior analyst. He predicted a 90 to 95% chance of approvals after our prediction, but he gave the prediction as well. Someone commented saying, so this is no longer relevant. Why did you do this? He said, now the odds are actually 100%. Generic listing standards make the 19B4s and their clock meaningless. This leaves the S1s waiting for formal green light from corporate finance, and they just submitted amendment number 4 for Solana. This baby could come any day. Be ready. So Solana could actually come out before XRP, but essentially we're expecting ETFs to come in masses. Many XRP ETFs, many Solana ETFs, many Litecoin ETFs, many Dogecoin ETFs, many of those top 20 cryptos, if you start looking at them, the ones that have been around for a while and quite confident aren't securities, there will be issuers putting out S1s for all of them very soon. As soon as the shutdown is over from the government, I would give it a week from that point, and you can expect to get those ETFs. And I do expect the shutdown to be over from the government in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So we are talking potentially October, if not definitely in November. We can't see the shutdown going into November, in all honesty. So what is the inside scoop? Again, Elena Terrett is someone I do look at because she does talk to a lot of these she does get comments from the SEC and these big companies. So let's just listen in here for just a second.
The last one, Shutdown having an effect on crypto ETFs, which is what I wrote about in my newsletter today. Essentially, what I understand is that the SEC is operating on a skeleton
If you do want to sign up to not her newsletter, but my newsletter, I'll put the link. It's the first link in the description. I'll put it in the live chat as well. Remember, we give you the newsletter every single day. It's all ad free.
crew right now, and any potential ETF approvals that we might have seen this week coming into the coming weeks. We're supposed to see a Litecoin ETF approval on Thursday and potential Solana ETF approvals next week or the week after. With this shutdown, because the staff is just, most of them are furloughed right now, as I understand it. It's just probably not going to happen. The S1s have to get the green light. Gerald, we talked to Greg Exlathalis last week or the week before about the generic listing standards, and actually what those have done, they've taken away the 19B4s, so those deadlines on those ETFs no longer really matter. So like Litecoin had the deadline on Thursday, but because everyone's kind of filed under that generic listing standard, the deadlines matter less, and they can kind of be approved if they get cleared under those standards. They can be approved on a rolling basis. But yeah, with the shutdown, I'm pretty sure everything, as Eric Balchunas said, is on ice right now.
Okay, anyone who's watching right now, we are having the event. I just want to make sure everyone is prepared for this. I'm going to give you the link to the membership. We're going to come back to the story in just a second. We are running an Electrum night. That is, if you're a member of Electrum and above, you will have access to this live stream. It will be starting in about 20 minutes time. So do make sure you've got your membership ready and upgraded for you to be able to join this night. So the link is in the chat. Normally next to the subscribe button, you see a button that says join. If you upgrade to Electrum or above, during this stream, you will make sure you are part of the Electrum Live. You'll find it in your upcoming live streams if you are a member already. So don't forget to join us in 20 minutes, our first Electrum night. Remember, lots of perks and benefits for being Electrum. All the perks from Silver you will get, all the perks from Electrum you will get, which is these additional live streams with the trivia, the learning more, direct community access, plus the quiz we will be running and the prizes and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you do become a member of Electrum. The link is in the chat right now. Let's come back to this. So essentially, Eleanor Terra is saying, as I said, 19.4B applications are a thing of the past. We had that Litecoin ETF deadline last Thursday, but nothing happened. Why? Well, because everything's changed. Secondly, we've got the issue of the government shutdown, meaning nothing will happen until that shutdown's over. But I wouldn't lose hope because the shutdown's going to finish at some point, and then all these ETFs are going to get approved. I'll give you my price targets in just a second. Let's just listen to a bit more.
So yeah,
Must
I
be,
think
yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it must be nice for governments to just be able to shut down. Imagine if we did that with our day jobs.
Well, I don't know that's voluntary, but yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah, I think no, it's challenging because it is like the SEC's work is a major sort of unforeseen, particularly for the industry, kind of repercussion of the shutdown more broadly. And I know we're going to talk to Stacey about this. So,
yeah.
there's people who are essential.
I like this comment over here. Someone put in, if the SEC worked a fraction as hard as when they went after Ripple, we would already have seen these ETFs already approved. Bunch of weasels, says this comment. That's funny because, yeah, they went after Ripple with everything they had, and it's taken them too long to get these ETFs approved. But they're coming.
And people who can stay in their roles, and then there's people who are deemed non-essential and can't come to work even if they want to.
Mhm.
So you're looking at like even talking about no action letters, right? So there's no audience if you were pursuing that strategy. There's nobody at the CFTC or the SEC. I think I saw that after furloughs, there's something like 41 people currently still on staff at the CFTC, right? Something like that. Yeah, Ellie, we were talking about that. Like, so it's skeleton crew. And so, you know, we'll see how much of this actually holds up for the industry, because it's a very bad time to be.
Yeah, well, totally. Just bad timing. Let's bring in Stacy now because she is the expert.
Yeah, so they don't actually, I've watched it, they don't give us too much more information, but I did want to give you another source that's confirming what I'm saying. So that's what's happening with the ETFs. If you actually look at what Bitcoin did as well today, Bitcoin just hit all-time highs at 126,000, or just below 126,000. That is all-time highs. It has sold off pretty dramatically since, but that does normally happen after profit taking and people coming in with leverage positions. So as long as we hold 120,000, 122,000, I think we will. Bitcoin dominance, we were waiting for that to have its another leg up for Bitcoin dominance. I hope we're getting another leg up on Bitcoin dominance. And yes, we are. We are expecting Bitcoin dominance to head up to about 60% before it comes maybe 60%, 60.3%. Why is that good? Well, it means Bitcoin will have the liquidity to go to all-time highs. That liquidity will then flow into altcoins. So we can see Bitcoin go to 60%, then go on to its bear market. Not essentially a bear market, but for Bitcoin dominance, it will be a bear market, which means Bitcoin dominance will start going into this downtrend until the whole market crashes, and then we go into the full crypto bear market where Bitcoin dominance starts going back up, and altcoins start really bleeding. So we are on track for Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin outperforming the altcoins, Bitcoin dominance going up over the next week or so. Bitcoin putting in new all-time highs, potentially going to our next targets of 130,000 and 150,000. That will push Bitcoin dominance up because Bitcoin will outperform the altcoins. Then we will start looking at what we've all been waiting for, which is altcoin season. Altcoin season essentially means money's still coming in. Everyone gets euphoric. Money from Bitcoin flows into altcoins. Bitcoin dominance falls off a cliff because Bitcoin loses its dominance in the market from maybe 60% all the way back down to 50, 40%. And that means all that money flows into altcoins. Altcoins have lower market caps, meaning they push up much faster and much higher. Because of the lower market cap, the lower liquidity, it does affect the altcoins more than Bitcoin. So you start seeing 50%, 100% moves in a day on certain coins. And then that's when you can start seeing XRP. If we go to XRP's chart, XRP again, look, this all relies on nothing major macro happening. The US government shutdown not going on for over a month. Some broader indicators. Again, I give a 60% chance that we have a soft landing in the general market, meaning the altcoin season does occur. So yeah, so what that means for XRP is XRP hovering around $3, then breaking up to $3.40, and then starting to go to our first main bull market target, which I will be taking some profits at, between $4.50 and $5. And then we can be well on our way to $8.50 and $10. Remember, by the my personal plan is, and everyone should have their own plan at this point, my personal plan is as soon as we, by the time we get to $10, most of my profits would already been taken, because I'm taking profits at $4.50, $5, $5.30, $6.30, $7.40, $48.51, and then I'll be keeping a little bit of a moon bag for $11, $13, $18, and then I'll be waiting for the bear market to accumulate more, waiting for the next bull market for XRP to go to potentially $50 or $100. So that's my strategy, that's my thoughts. Everything's still on track. Government shutdown, as soon as that ends 1 week later, I expect all these ETFs to get approved. That results in altcoin season. Bitcoin has created a new higher high. The bull market is still on. So I think it's just patience now, and I think it's going to get very, very exciting. Remember, we've always said October is the month we expect all-time highs on XRP, and if the government shutdown ends second week, third week of October, a week later, getting all these ETFs, I think we will still be on track to have all-time highs for XRP in October. September was going to be a crash and then a pump month. It did crash, and towards the end we did get a bottom forming. October, November is supposed to be the pump months in my books, and I think we're still on track for that. So what we're going to do now is go over to the Electrum event. So thank you everyone for tuning in. This is the Sunday show. We are now moving over to the Electrum event, which is all about trivia. It's all about prizes. It's all about learning more about the markets. It's all about a bit of fun with the community, so we get to know you guys better. There will be the event. There will be a Zoom call in. If you haven't already become a member, do consider becoming a member right now. It's the best time to become a member. If you don't like it, cancel it. But at least join our event starting in about 10 minutes time. So Swift coin, please and thank you, Darren. Let's have a quick look. Swift coin. Yeah, if you do want a chart request, you can do a $5 super chat. I'll give everyone a couple minutes. If anyone wants to do a super chat, I will stay on the stream for a couple more minutes for those super chats to go through. And if you do want a chart request, Swift coin. So yeah, Swift coin has broken that uptrend. However, you have now come into a nice area of support. Swift coin had that massive move up in February of 2025. I don't know much about the fundamentals, and Swift coin is quite a lower market cap compared to a lot of other tokens we look at. So you have to be very careful with tokens like this. I do think if I did want to enter a position, we're not far away from support, so I wouldn't mind buying Swift coin at these levels. 0.009 would be the next level, but in theory, if I'm buying this, I'm waiting for all-time highs. I'm waiting. I'm going to buy this token. I'm not going to be selling at low levels. I'm going to be waiting for maybe a 300, 400, 500, 1,000% move towards the upside, but also very, very, very cautious with how much I put in, because I would not put in any more than I can afford to lose. And when I say that, that's not the same as when I say it for XRP. When I say it about a coin which only has an $82 million market cap, I would be very much prepared for it to go to zero as well, or down 90%. The risk to reward, that's why I would expect, that's why I'll be waiting for a 400, 500, 1,000% move towards the upside, because this is a token with an $81 million market cap, which can easily go down to maybe the next level of support is 0.002. From the levels we're at now, it wouldn't take it much for it to go down 70%. So please be very careful with tokens like this. You are at support. You might take a short-term trade on it. But tokens like this, you look at the fundamentals, whether you like it or not, you're looking at what you think it's going to do in a bull market. And if we do get a very nice bull market, I'm sure it will pump. But it could crash very quickly after. There's not too much technical analysis you can do on a chart like this, because it's an $81 million market cap. But the most I can show you is we're around level of support. If we break this level of support, we are in danger of a 60-70% crash. But if we do get the altcoin season like we're expecting, we could get a nice 400% move towards the upside. So if you're buying it, be prepared for it to go to zero, but also be prepared for it to go up 400, 500, 600%. I personally do not hold this token. Thanks for sharing your profit taking levels. Of course, Joseph. Everything we do on the show, we're very transparent. We show you as much as we can. Hey, appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Oh, Darren, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you giving me 2 super chats, and I haven't even managed to give you a proper chart analysis because of the token you suggested. I really do appreciate it. If it wasn't for people like you doing super chats, we wouldn't actually be able to be live on YouTube every single day. We would be sitting making videos, because videos make money, live streams don't. Well, they make a little bit of money, but they do not make enough money to live on. So it's all the super chats and the memberships that keep us running. So thank you so much, Darren. You didn't even get a full chart analysis, and you've given $10. So really do appreciate it. If anyone else does want to do a super chat for a chart request, you've got your final chance now. If not, join us on our Electrum trivia game show. I'll give you the link to it now as well. Where is Electrum? I think it's here. Here is the event we're going to now. There is the link. I'm just going to check one thing as well. If I go here and here and go here. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so here is where we're going now. This is the trivia event, the Electrum event. Upgrade your membership to join it. Here is the link. We're going straight there. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to go over to the Electrum event now. Let me just make sure I don't miss any comments. I'm not selling my XRP as it will decouple from the 4-year cycle as the supply shot kicks in. Money Making Mitch, I'm glad I waited because you've done a super chat prop analysis. I wouldn't feel good ending the stream and then seeing you've done a super chat. Prop analysis. This does give you time in case you want to do another super chat, or anyone else who's watching. You do have a little bit more time in case you wanted a chart analysis prop. Money Making Mitch, can you just let me know, are you looking at a crypto or a stock? Prop. Can you give me the ticker? Prop. Prop is Pirate Sorry, Priare Operating Corporation, or are you looking at the crypto which is prop USDT on BitGet? Is it the Nasdaq listed company trading at $1.98? Yeah. Money Making Mitch, I need a bit more information on that super chat, otherwise I might do the wrong one. Stock. Okay, perfect. I don't know why the super. Oh, sorry, my super chat alerts were turned off. They are on now. That's why they weren't coming through. There we go. Okay, so prop for Money Making Mitch. There it is.
Brian D'Alessandro donated £1.99 through a super chat. Ethena Crypto.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's get through some of these because we're going to go over to our event shortly. So prop is the first one from Money Making Mitch. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Look, first look at this company. It's like this company's going bankrupt. It's just not something I would have too much hopes on. It did massive swings. At one point it's at $730, now it's at $2. Obviously there'll be stock splits within that, but you can see how much has come down. You are in quite a major downtrend as well right now. So looking at it as on a whole, as a chart analysis analyst, and I would look at it and I would say this has been an awful investment. It's probably going to continue being an awful investment long term. In all honesty, when you look at a chart like that, you don't have much hope on it as a very safe investment, as an investment you can just buy and put to the side. You can't do that with this. Thank you, the key. Oh, what member did you become? Oh, you're an Electrum membership. You want to join our next show? Thank you, the key. You will be part of the next show. It's going to be a fun one. Thank you, the key. I look forward to seeing you there in about 10 minutes time. So what I mean by that is this stock I'm looking at right now, when you zoom out and you see that, this is a stock that it might make you a lot of money. However, it's not a stock you can just buy and forget about. It's not like when you look at the Apple chart or the Berkshire Hathaway chart or any of the Meta chart, when something that you can buy and put away. That's not one of these. You have to keep a good eye on it. Remember, my chart analysis isn't financial advice. However, having said that, it does. If I knew the fundamentals and I was confident in it, you are at an all-time low, or you are getting very close to that level. Even for a short-term trade, you could bounce quite heavily at around $1.63. Why $1.63? Well, that's because that's the all-time low. People will be buying this up at the all-time low. Typically, when you have a bounce and you go all the way up and then you crash and you're oversold on the RSI, which you are, and you are down 90% from where you were 2 years ago in 2023, you could certainly see at least a very short-term bounce on the day. So around $1.50 level, you can expect to see a 90, 50, 100% move, 150% move towards the upside within a week or 2 weeks, just not because of any fundamentals, just based on a relief rally. Just going up to this trend line, which just means you're going to continue to the downside, you can get 150 to 200% rally. So does that mean wait for $1.50 or buy now at $1.96? Well, if you're expecting a rally back towards this trend line, even from these levels, even if it drops 20%, or you might as well buy at these levels because it will go up 100% from these levels if you are expecting a bounce, even to continue this downtrend. So for a short-term trade, it's looking good. It's looking like you could get a bounce, but keep an eye on it. Most people would buy at these levels, see 100% gain, and then not sell because they'll say it's going to the next level. They get greedy. If you are very careful with your trade and you buy it at a level and you know exactly where you're going to sell, this could be a nice trade. More longer term, what you would want to look for is a break of trend.
Darren Dunaway donated $5 through a super chat. Let's get some super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make his day.
Thank you so much, Darren. Darren, you're not even a member. I love it. Thank you so much, Darren. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. So when I look at this stock, I'd look at a more short-term trade. If I knew a lot more about the fundamentals, maybe I would buy some and put it away, and just have a limit sell order at $10 or whatever. But if you want to see it go towards $10 or try and go back to the highs of 2023, what you want to see is a longer term break of trend. That would mean you want to see this trend line break towards the upside. So you want to break $3.30 and then move up. And then, in all honesty, you would also want to see it break the previous high. That previous high is at $10. That would take a lot for it to happen. I would be much more interested in that short-term trade. I'm sure the market cap's very low. Yes, it is. It's a $94 million market cap. So be very, very careful. But I've given you my levels. Moving on to the next super chat. It is from... Who's it from? It's from Enrique D, Audio Active Productions, member for 6 months. Thank you very much. Hey, Sensei, can you please check the progress / chart of Katina? Oh, Kita, sorry. Kita, KTA. Let's have a look at Kita. I've heard a lot about KTA, but I've just never done my own research or bought into it. I'm sure it's going to be one of the ones that does quite well in altcoin season because I'm pretty sure it's a fairly new token. Yeah, this is a token released in May of 2025. It did have a double top. We did warn you about that double top. We weren't very interested in buying it there. However, now it's getting much, much more interesting. Just make sure this is the full chart. Cracking. Yeah. This hasn't been around for long. KTA starting to look interesting. Coming into lows that we haven't seen since June of 2025. We're almost at all-time lows for KTA. And considering the amount of hype that was around this token, it is slightly surprising. Some would say concerning. But we've seen tokens like this certainly come all the way back down to their lows and then have very nice pumps. So KTA... The all-time low is around 40 cents. It's currently at 58 cents. Again, if we're going to get that crypto bull market like we're hoping for, it doesn't really matter whether you buy it at 40 cents or 58 cents. If you think it's going to go to its targets of what my targets on this chart are $2.50, $4, $5.10, and $6. And even if you're thinking it's going to go to all-time highs of $1.50, all of those targets, even the first target is 150% move towards the upside from here, and the largest target I have is about 900% move towards the upside. So you don't really need massive amounts of these tokens to make some nice percentage gains. So KTA for me is in a buy zone. Yes, I wouldn't be putting all my money in at this level. I would be waiting in case it does go lower, and the chart suggests the next level of support is at 40 cents. You're actually in no man's land right now. You're between the support at 40 cents and the resistance at 64 cents. However, with my thoughts and opinions, Bitcoin breaking to all-time highs and then altcoin season potentially happening at the end of this month, next month, I wouldn't really be waiting. I'll be DCAing into KTA. If I like the fundamentals and I wanted to get into a token that's new, that's trending, that can make new all-time highs, you're sort of in that buy zone between 40 cents and 64 cents. So again, I wouldn't be putting in too much in because the risk to reward is good enough without putting a lot in. If in my crypto portfolio, if I was going to buy KTA, it would never be more than 10% of my crypto portfolio. I'd very much be in XRP as about 50, 60, 70% of my portfolio, and then buying these on a smaller amount.
Darren Dunaway donated $5 through a super chat. I watch
Darren,
you
what's
and
going
Martyn
on?
a lot. I appreciate you guys.
Darren Dunaway, thank you so much. Darren's going crazy. Thank you, Darren. I watch you guys and Martyn a lot. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Darren. Welcome again to our show. Do consider becoming a member. So sometimes we go on members only mode and then we won't see your comments. But it's great to have you here and thank you for all your support. You could have bought your membership by now. You could have bought 3 memberships by now, 4 memberships. So that's KTA. That's my thoughts on that. We need to just quickly go through the last ones. Athena, thank you, Brian. Athena, haven't looked at this one. Athena. Haven't seen this one before, even though this has been around since 2024. You do have a nice double bottom on this token. So let me bring out Why can't I? There it is. You've got a nice double bottom on Katina, so that was back in 2024, now in 2025. Your neckline would be at least getting back up to $126. So, sorry, $1.26. That's my first target on Athena, and then the bull market target, considering if everything goes to plan, you're looking at $2.30 and $3.50 on Athena. You are currently sat at a nice level of support on ENA, and the market cap is a lot higher, so it's considered a bit more safe compared to the other tokens we've looked at today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I had to rush through those analysis because we do have another show upcoming literally in 5 minutes time now. As soon as I end this, I'll get that set up, and about 5 minutes from now I'll be live on the Electrum special event. So if you're not an Electrum member, can you look at the source built on Crypto Mac? No, I can't, but thanks. Here is the link for the membership. If you're not a member yet, do consider becoming a member. Here is the live show we're going to now as well, starting in just a couple minutes. Still got a few minutes to become an Electrum member. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll be back on Tuesday. No show tomorrow morning. I've got an appointment I have to go to. Doctor's appointment in the morning, but the newsletter will be out at some point tomorrow. Maybe not usual time, but we'll be back on Tuesday. And remember, Martyn will be doing a lot of chart reviews, so keep an eye out for any chart reviews coming out from Martyn. But essentially, Martyn's holiday is starting, but he is creating content for you guys. Go and watch his Friday show to know exactly what's happening while he's away. He's not going anywhere, but he will be taking a well-deserved break to be with Leah. 4 years no break for Martyn, so there you go. I paid 10 about a month ago or so for Martyn to do analysis of prop, but I don't think it was ever done. Money Making Mitch, well, it's coming up now because Martyn will be doing all of your requests next week. I think there's about 27 reviews, so we'll be getting them all lined up. With the partnership of Swift, and Lena, what's your thoughts on this? I don't have any thoughts. Tune in on my show in the mornings, where we can answer some more of your questions. Right now, I'm excited for the Electrum event. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.